Hi, I'm Daniel from Lift Stronger. Welcome to our massage ball course. We're going to teach you the most effective way to use the massage ball. I'm a gym owner and have experience training athletes. I'm going to teach you the most effective techniques we use for optimizing your body and getting the most out of your training. In this course we're going over the 4 most effective techniques for using the massage ball and the 10 most commonly used muscle groups in the massage. We're going to cover when to use the massage ball and how to use the massage ball for specific pain areas. And important principles you need to remember when using the massage ball to make sure you don't hurt yourself. Whether you're a combat athlete or a fitness enthusiast, this course is for you. We're going to teach you how to get most out of your training by recovering quicker, getting more flexible and mobile, and getting most out of your training to get the biggest results. Thanks for watching this video. I hope to see you inside this course. Welcome. We're going to cover the principles for using the massage ball. Make sure when you're beginning out, it might hurt and it might be sensitive. This is normal. You need to know the difference between real pain where you're hurting your body and pain where it's more like a sensitive sensation your body is experiencing. In most cases, when it hurts, it means you're doing the good thing. When you're massaging your muscles, you want to try to find the sensitive spots and the knots in your muscles. When you find a knot, you want to stay there for 20 or 30 seconds. In the end, the muscle knot might relieve and you're able to move on to the next area in your muscle. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer and the muscle knot might release over time. Just make sure when you're beginning out, you're starting slowly, keep breathing, and don't overdo it. Your muscles still need to rest. To begin out, once a day or before and after your training should do the trick. In this video we're going to cover the 4 techniques used when you're massaging your muscles. The first technique is called contract and relax, which means when you're massaging your muscle, you're going to contract your muscle for a couple seconds and then relax. You do that a couple times. So you find your sensitive spot while you're massaging and then you're going to contract for around 5-6 seconds and then release deep into the massage. You're going to repeat that a couple times. You might spend 1 or 2 minutes on each sensitive spot. Every time you relax, you get deeper into the massage and you get deeper into your muscle. If you've done that a couple times, you can move on to the next sensitive area. The second technique is called muscle release, which means you're going to find the sensitive spot in your muscle and then you're going to lengthen your muscle while the ball is placed right before the sensitive spot. So you're going to track your knot or trigger point, you're going to place the ball right before the sensitive spot and then you're going to lengthen your muscle while the ball is still there. The sensitive spot and muscle will move underneath the ball while there's pressure on the ball. The fascia and the muscle will release because of that. All the sensitive spots and all the muscle tension will release because of this. The third technique is called constant pressure, which means while you're massaging your muscle, you want to have constant pressure while you're moving on top of the ball. So whatever point you're massaging on your muscle, you want to have constant pressure, which means if you found a sensitive spot on your muscle, you want to keep applying pressure and keep rolling the ball around that sensitive area. You want to stay on the sensitive spot for a couple seconds and then move around that while you're keeping pressure. The fourth technique is called hand massage. In this technique we're going to take the ball in our hand and apply pressure on the muscle. In this technique we'll have specific control of the ball and the hard to get areas are more easier to reach because you have more control of the ball and you can apply various degrees of pressure. In this video we're going to show you how to apply all the 4 techniques on your calf muscle. The first technique is contract and relax. With the ball on your calf muscle, you're going to find a sensitive spot. If you found that spot, the goal is to keep applying pressure on your muscle and then contract the muscle for a couple seconds and release. contract the muscle again and get a little bit deeper while you're relaxing. It's getting a little bit more sensitive now. Contract for 5-6 seconds and release. You want to make sure you keep having pressure on the muscle. We're going to repeat this 3 more times, where you contract and release deep into the muscle. Every time you're applying a little bit more pressure. Contract and release. Try to stay on the same spot. One more time. Contract and release. That's the first technique. The second technique is muscle release. In muscle release, you're going to put the ball right before your sensitive spot. When you found your sensitive spot, you're going to shorten your muscle by pointing forward. If you found the spot and you're pointing forward, your goal is to get your toes as high as possible. So you're going to contract them upwards. That way the muscle will be pulled underneath the ball. So you place the sensitive spot right before the ball, going to point forward, keep applying pressure, and then move the toes upwards. Make sure when you're pointing forward and you're pulling the toe towards you, you keep them straight. So you don't want to go all the way outside. The second technique, muscle release, point forward, apply pressure just before the pressure point, and lengthen the muscle underneath the ball. One more time, point forward, keep pressure, and pull your muscle upwards. That's it. The third technique is called constant pressure. In this case, you're going to keep moving around with your muscle on the ball. And all the time, you're going to keep applying pressure on the muscle. So I found my sensitive spot, and I'm going to keep rolling while I'm pushing on the ball. You'll notice that there could be an area which is sensitive. It doesn't have to be one spot in particular. You want to keep applying pressure, and while you're rolling, you're putting pressure on the muscle. Try some different angles on the muscle. You want to cover the whole area of your muscle. In this case, the calf is the whole back of your lower leg. And you want to keep applying pressure and look for those sensitive spots. All the way up to your knee joint, where the calf muscle attaches. And there's some sensitive spots. If you found a sensitive spot, remember you can stay there for around 30 seconds. Keep applying pressure until the spot releases and the muscle tension gets back or goes away. The fourth technique is massage with the hand. You're going to grab the ball in your hand and you're going to apply pressure on the muscle itself. Make sure you straighten your arm in this case. You're able to find specific areas in the muscle and try to find those sensitive spots. You want to walk all the way up, downwards in the muscle, and you're going to look for those sensitive spots. For me, it's in the middle of the muscle, a little bit downwards, and you can do two things. You can keep applying pressure, or you apply pressure and you move the ball a little bit, just past that sensitive spot. Make sure you don't press too hard, and when you're starting out, take it easy. it might hurt a little. To reach the outside part of this muscle, you're going to put the ball on the outside and lay your leg on the ground. You're going to apply pressure on your leg with your hands and your body. You want to find those sensitive spots, stay there for a couple seconds and apply pressure. Find your sensitive spot and apply pressure. Stay around the spot for a second or 30 until the point releases, and then move on to the next area. Okay, we've gone over the 4 techniques for the calf muscle. Make sure you take your time and practice those techniques. Try different techniques and see which suits you. Every person has their own preference in which techniques work for them. In this video, we're going to cover massaging the foot. We're going to begin from bottom up. The foot is related to a lot of other muscles in your body, so you want to make sure this area is loose and strong. The foot has a lot of muscles, so you want to make sure you take your time and massage deep underneath your foot. It takes some time to get underneath all the layers of muscle. So when you find a sensitive spot, stay on top of there and wait 20 or 30 seconds until the muscles release and move on to the next area. Try to find a couple sensitive spots and make sure overall the muscles release and your foot relaxes. We're going to start with the foot massage. The first technique we're going to do is constant pressure. You're going to start at the ball of your foot. You're going to apply, like the name says, constant pressure on your foot, all the way to the back of the foot. Once you've found your sensitive spot, you're going to stay there for around 20-30 seconds. Keep applying pressure until the spot releases. Once the spot releases, you move on to the next area and you're going to apply constant pressure on the back of your foot, on the side, and in the front of your foot. Make sure you cover all the 4 areas. In the foot, there's a lot of muscle. So make sure you take your time and get deep into the muscle structure. If you've massaged the muscles for a while, make sure you go over it again. If the first layer of muscle is relaxed, you can get a little bit deeper and apply more pressure in the deep muscle tissue. The second technique is hand massage. You want to cover the whole area from your front of your foot to the back. You're going to use your arm and hand to apply pressure in the muscle. You're going to walk from the front all the way to the back. On every spot, you're going to press really hard and get deep into the muscle. I prefer to apply a little twist after I've applied my pressure. So I keep putting pressure on the muscle for a couple seconds and then twist off of it. Keep pressure and move off. Once you've gone over the whole area, make sure you've gone to the back of your foot and even down here on your heel. There could be some sensitive areas. It just takes some time to find your sensitive spots and the areas which cover some problems for you. Just take your time and make sure you cover the whole foot. In this video we're going to cover the hamstrings. The first technique we're going to do is contract and relax. We're going to place the ball on the muscle, move along the muscle and find your sensitive spot where you're going to relax on the muscle. We're going to place the ball on our hamstring, we're going to find our sensitive spot. If you find your spot, make sure you put pressure on the muscle, contract, and relax. You're going to apply that for 5-6 times, contract, keep the contraction for 6-7 seconds, and relax deeper into the muscle. The second technique is constant pressure. You're going to find your knot and you're going to apply constant pressure deep in the muscle for 30 seconds. Keep your ball on the right spot and keep leaning forward. So you want to have your weight on the ball. Okay, once you've applied constant pressure on one point, try to look in your muscle for some other sensitive spots and do the same thing on these other spots. The third technique for your hamstring is the muscle release. You're going to put the ball under your muscle, find your sensitive spot, and contract your muscle. You're going to start here. The ball is in front of your sensitive spot, and then you're going to lengthen your leg while you keep applying pressure on the ball. Try to move a little bit and place the ball, and then you're going to lengthen the muscle. Try to keep your toes upwards. You're going to start with the ball in front of the sensitive spot and lengthen your leg while your ball is on the spot. You're going to apply this around 9 to 10 times until the sensitive spot gets less and releases. That's it. In this video we're going to cover the outer hip area. The first technique we're going to do is contract and relax. You're going to place the ball on the outside of the hip above the leg, and you're going to move until you found your sensitive area, and you're going to contract your hip muscle and relax. Every time you relax, you're falling deeper into the muscle tissue. You're going to contract for 5-6 seconds and relax. Repeat this around 5 to 6 times and move on to the next spot. You want to cover your whole hip area, so the outside of the hip. You want to find your sensitive spots and try to go deep and find specific muscle knots in the muscle tissue. The second technique is constant pressure. You're going to place the ball on the outside of the hip. Once you found your spot, you're going to lay down on the spot and just relax. You're going to stay on the same spot for 30 seconds and try to relax your whole body into the ball. Every breath you're getting deeper and deeper into the muscle without moving. After 30 seconds, you'll get off the spot, move on to the next area, and do it again. The third technique is muscle release. In muscle release, you want to put the ball in front of your knot, and you're going to move your knee outward all the way in. You're going to start down, find your spot, and then move your leg while you keep your hip in the same place. Start all the way down, find your sensitive spot, place the ball, and move up. In muscle release, you want your muscle to lengthen underneath the ball. So you start in front of your knot, move upwards with your leg while your hip rotates inward. That's it. In this video we're going to cover your back muscle, the latissimus. You're going to lay down on the ball, and the first technique is the muscle release, where we're going to start with the arm down here and the ball on the latissimus. We're going to move our arm all the way up while we're applying pressure with the ball on the muscle. So begin all the way down and move your arm up and rotate your hand outward while you're doing that. So you're going to start with your hand rotated in, move upwards, rotate out, all the way to your arm is overhead, and keep applying pressure on the muscle. One more time, start down and move your arm upwards, turn your hand out, and keep applying pressure. Make sure you find the sensitive spot which is right for you. And remember to straighten your arm all the way up and rotate it outwards. The second technique is constant pressure, where you use the ball on your back muscle and you move inwards towards the ball. You're going to keep applying pressure on your sensitive spot and you're going to relax while you're on there. Make sure you're breathing and stay on the same spot for around 30 seconds. Once you've stayed on the spot for 30 seconds, you're going to release and find the next area. Make sure you cover the whole area and even the back of your body. So not only this side, but you can also move towards the back. That's it. Alright, in this video we're going to cover the chest muscle and the shoulder muscles. We've covered our lower body so far and our big back muscle. The chest muscles and the shoulders are important, especially for people with a forward lean posture, like people working at a desk job or people carrying stuff in front of them all the time, like carrying a baby or even photographers carrying their heavy camera in front of them. One more good example is a forward posture because of training. If people train their front of their upper body too much, you might get a forward posture because of using these muscles too much. By using the massage ball to release these muscles and relax the muscles, you'll get a better posture and you'll be able to use the back muscles more by relaxing the front muscles in your body. Important for your chest muscle is to cover the whole area. You have your lower chest muscle and your middle and the upper area. It's important to cover the whole area from beginning to the middle. You'll have to find your sensitive spots in the muscle. It's different for everyone. Important is to cover the whole area, but also to get deeper into the muscle tissue. Underneath the biggest chest muscle, there's a minor chest muscle. So make sure you get deep into the tissue and take care of the muscles underneath the superficial layer of muscles. It will look like this. We have the same techniques for before, except this will be applied to different muscles. The first technique we went over was the constant pressure technique. Constant pressure is where you find the sensitive spot on the muscle and you stay there for 20 to 30 seconds, wait until the spot releases, and then you continue on to the next spot. Once you've covered the whole chest area and you've found your sensitive spots and took care of them, like I said, get a muscle layer deeper and think about the muscles underneath the big chest area. Don't forget them. The same technique applies for the shoulder muscle, which you can use on the wall like this. And you just find your spot, you stay there for 20-30 seconds, and you move on to the next part. The other technique, which is the same as the one we've went over before, is the contract and relax technique, where you apply pressure in the muscle for 6-7 seconds and then relax. You get a lot deeper by doing that. Same applies for the contract and relax technique for the chest muscle. You find your sensitive spot, and by contracting the muscle for 6 to 7 seconds and relaxing, you'll get deeper into the muscle tissue and you'll get actually underneath the first layer. So by going over the first big chest muscle and relaxing the muscle tissue, you'll get deeper into the fibers and you'll reach the smaller muscles underneath the big chest muscle. The third technique we can use for the chest and shoulder is the ball in hand technique, where you just massage the muscles with your hand and the ball rolling over the muscle tissue. That's The same for the chest muscle and the shoulder muscle. There will be less pressure in this technique than in the technique where you use the wall. You can get pretty specific in the muscle tissue and find your sensitive spot more controlled because you're controlling the ball. Last thing to say is all these techniques we use the wall because this is the most accurate to use now, but you can do these exercises on the ground as well. If you have a mat, same as the other exercises, you can lay on the ground, massage these muscles, and you can actually apply a lot more pressure on the muscle than using the wall. You'll have good control of the ball and the muscle while using the wall, but you can apply more pressure while laying on the ground. That's it for this muscle. Alright, in this video we're going to cover our back, neck and shoulder muscles. How we're going to massage the shoulder muscles using the wall. In this video I have Chris, my friend, as an example. Thanks for using me, Chris. Can you turn around?
Of course.
Thank you. We'll be covering the whole area from neck to underneath his shoulder blade. We'll start up at his neck and we'll go all the way down through the spine. We'll end around underneath. The whole shoulder muscle will be this area shoulder muscle towards the shoulder, this area and towards the spine. So this whole area towards the spine. Will be covered. So this whole area with the ball against the wall. Massaging with the ball against the wall. That will be our first muscle, the big shoulder muscle up there. But we also have our spine, which we can cover. We'll have the whole rotator cuff at the shoulder, which starts up here and moves along at the shoulder blade, even downwards at the shoulder blade, and our small muscles attaching from the arm towards the shoulder blade. So we cover this whole area. We have the muscles attaching from the shoulder blade towards the spine, so also include the area in between the shoulder blade and the spine area. That's about it. Thanks for showing us, Chris. I'll show how this looks on the wall itself. On the wall itself, you can start with your neck muscles and you can massage all the way down, finding your sensitive spots. If you found your sensitive spot, we apply our first technique, constant pressure, which is preferable for the back muscles in this case. So we have the whole spine area from the shoulder all the way down underneath the shoulder blade. If you've covered the spine area, you can start going sideways towards the shoulder, and on top of the shoulder blade we have the rotator cuff muscles all the way down there, and it's your task to find your sensitive spots and the spots you need to work on. Try to recognize the areas which needs improvement, and you'll feel after massaging whether the muscle tissue will feel better or not. Also, don't forget the muscles in between the shoulder blade and the spine itself. So once you've covered the spine muscles next to the spine, go a little bit closer to the shoulder blade and cover these muscles. Again, there's different layers of muscles, so once you've covered the first layer of muscles and it's improved, it relaxed more, try going over again and try finding deeper spots which also need to work on underneath the first muscle layer. Alright, once again, for the back muscles, all the muscles we massage using the wall, you can massage laying on the ground. Same principles, same techniques. One more important thing for massaging the back muscles is a tool which we can use to measure whether the massage has been effective for us. One tool we use for that is measuring the shoulder mobility. So try measuring a before and after. Some people are only able to get this far with their shoulder, and after the massage, test again and see whether you're able to get further or you have more flexibility in the shoulder. So you start measuring how far the shoulder is able to go, massage for a couple minutes, try different muscles, and then retest. See whether you have more mobility and more room in your shoulder, or whether it just feels better for yourself. Thank you for watching. We'll have one more video after this, and then we've covered the whole body for so far. Alright, in this video we'll be going over the last technique, which is the ball in hand technique. We've covered the most used muscles so far. Remember, we didn't cover all the muscles in the body, but we covered the mostly used muscles using the massage ball. The last one is using the massage ball in your hand. We've covered the calf area using the massage ball on the calf, which was laying down in that example. Try using a mat and laying your leg flat on the ground and massaging the whole calf area. The next one would be the shoulder muscles. So with the ball in the hand, we'll massage the shoulder muscles, same as the chest muscles. And there'll be some less pressure as using the wall, but you can control the ball very well. And even by just rolling over the muscle, instead of applying pressure all the time, but just massaging the whole area and covering the whole muscle group, will be working really good with the ball in your hand. Another one is the ball on the neck, which isn't that clear in this case, but you can massage your whole neck muscles by applying pressure with your hand on the ball, applying pressure towards your neck and covering the whole area from your skull downwards. Both sides in this case, and try finding your pain areas. We've got two more areas on the arms. You can massage your upper arms using your hand, and you can massage your lower arm. One preferred method for this one is laying your arm on a table so it can rest on the table, and then massaging the lower area and also the other side of the lower arm. So you have both sides covered while relaxing your arm on the table. Alright, we've covered all the major muscle groups so far, especially the muscle groups used for using the massage ball. It's important to remember the basic principles when using the massage ball. When you're massaging any part of your body, it's not supposed to hurt more while doing it. So you need to know the subtle difference between hurting yourself and feeling pain while massaging. Because when you're starting out, it might be a little bit sensitive in those areas. And that's actually a sign you need the massage in that area. When you're starting out, most of the places you'll massage will be sensitive and might hurt a little. But it's for you to find out whether you're really having pain or just having a sensitive sensation while using the massage ball. Some other points are, it should never start to tingle or get numb while massaging the muscles. If you feel tingling in the muscles or your muscles start to go numb, get off the massage ball, take a walk, and make sure that your normal feeling gets back. Also, while testing and retesting, you should always get better after doing the massage. For example, a test and retest is doing a bodyweight squat. So you're able to squat down before the massage, and after the massage, for example massaging your outer hip, your squat should go better and you should feel comfortable down in the squat. That's a good example of a test, retest example before and after the massage. We've covered the four most used techniques for using the massage ball so far, which are the constant pressure technique, where you have constant pressure on the muscle, or the contract and relax technique, where you apply pressure and muscle tension for 6-7 seconds and then release to get deeper into the muscle tissue, and keep repeating this a couple times. One other technique is using the massage ball on the muscle while the muscle is shortened. We've used this on the calf, for example, or the hip, and while applying pressure on the muscle, you're lengthening the muscle underneath the massage ball to release the muscle under the pressure point. The fourth technique was the ball in hand, where you cover the whole muscle using your hand as a guidance on the ball and covering the whole muscle tissue on different spots. So all these techniques are applicable for different muscles, and it's about the principles. So you know the techniques which are applicable using the massage ball, and try to find out which muscle groups need more attention for you, and try to find out which are most sensitive and which you will benefit most from by massaging and taking care of using the massage ball. So when and how much are we supposed to use the massage ball? Preferably to maintain and improve every day, we're supposed to massage around 10 or 15 minutes on a daily basis on your problem areas. So first try to figure out what areas you need to work on. It's different for every person, for what kind of job you have, for what kind of posture you have. So get to know your body and try to figure out where you need most of the work. Then try to improve on a daily basis, getting better every day and improving your muscle tissue every day by massaging those problem areas and taking care of the muscle tissue on a daily basis. Another point is you can use the massage ball before or after the training. In case you're using the massage ball before the training, you'll get a better mobility during the training because your muscles are relaxed more and you have more range of motion, for example in your shoulders, while training. That's one point, and after the training the massage ball will help to recover quicker and to reduce soreness by rolling and massaging the muscles used in the training. Take about 10 minutes after the training to go over the muscles and massage the complete muscle groups you've trained in that training. Another example to use the massage ball is on painful areas. A lot of people have problems in their back or their shoulders or their hips. Try to find that painful area with the ball and just massage around that area. Try to find muscles related to your problem. So for example, if you're having hand problems, don't only massage the muscles around your hand, but also go up in the chain and massage your arm muscles and your shoulder muscles, because that's all related to the same area which you're having problem with. Remember, when starting out, always take it slowly. If you're not used to having any massages or you're not used to having any therapeutic touch on your body, it might be really sensitive and your body might shock a little from using this massage. So always start slowly and slowly get to know your body better and better and find out what problems you need to work on, where you will have the best advantage using the massage ball. A good assessment for whether the technique you're using is too extreme or not is checking in with your breathing. If you're massaging your muscles and you're still able to regulate your breathing and have a normal diaphragmatic breathing, so instead of having a chest breathing, you're still breathing through your belly, you're still good. If you're getting too uptight and too high with your breathing, you need to take it slowly. Maybe you're doing it a little bit too intense, and try to focus on the points where you're still controlling your body and still being able to regulate your breathing. So your breathing is a assessment tool for checking whether the technique is applicable for you. One last tip is, once you've covered your painful areas and your pain might resolve after a couple days, still stay using the massage ball as a maintenance tool. Our last tip is, once you've solved your pain problems and you might get less pain in your training or in your daily life, don't stop using the massage ball suddenly. It solved your problem, so it means it's doing something good. Try to use the massage ball on a daily basis and keep improving in those problem areas you have in your body. So the massage ball could be seen as a maintenance tool after you've solved your problems. Try to use the massage ball 10 to 15 minutes using the techniques and muscle group we've went over in this course. Thanks for watching all our videos. I hope it will improve your training a lot and your body recover way quicker. Thanks for watching.